In another horrible attack, this time in Colorado against the Jewish community.
We're fucking God!
Stay. You'll actually see the attacker in this video. There he is without the shirt.
Is he holding Molotov bottles in his hand?
Hold on, let's finish the video. We'll see what he had.
My God.
Yeah. So this was the guy. Notice behind him on the ground, you'll see those backpack sprayers. Those apparently part of the attack as well. Normally, those are used for spraying pesticides, to take care of weeds and plants. So he just bought that, something you can buy at Home Depot. Please don't do that. We're not putting any links here. But you take that, fill it up with the gas, and that's the danger, right? How easy it is to have a lone wolf style attack, somebody who's radicalized, anti-Israeli, anti-Western. Right, because it came out now. This guy was an Egyptian citizen in the U.S. and he was here past his visa. This is exactly the type of people that right now the administration is saying, like, hey, you're here illegally. You've passed your visa. You're past your welcome. It's time to get out. So what he did, got that stuff together. Went to this wasn't even a protest. This wasn't some pro-Israel protest, mayhem, anarchy. This was for the hostages. This was effectively a vigil, a memorial. They meet, apparently by reports, once a week. It's pre-approved. It's something that's known, that's been occurring weekly, primarily with older citizens. All the victims were between, if I remember correctly, 67 and 86. So we're talking about a bunch of elderly people. He just shows up there, and there's another brave freedom fighter for Allah.
Yeah, I've read that one of the victims was a Holocaust survivor. Yeah. So we have a migrant who have passed his visa, who just goes and creates a homemade flamethrower, basically. This is a flamethrower, and start trying to burn people alive because they're standing in solidarity with the hostages.
Yeah.
Let me guess, how did the media call him?
Yeah, well, predictably, they report it in a very, careful and sensitive fashion.
As far as the investigation itself, we're still trying to verify and confirm some video, but it appears to show a significant portion of the incident as it happened. There's an individual that's taken into custody. He's a white male.
Of course, he's a white male. Another one of those famous terrorists.
Yeah, so somehow it's always, when it's white, it's the first thing they will say. But when it's a Muslim or an Arab or Middle Eastern or a black person, they're never gonna mention that.
Yeah. No, if you remember, a few years ago there was another attack in Colorado where the person went open fire, and all their immediate reports were like, "Oh, a white male, another attack by white male, another assault rifle used by white male," right? And that was headlines. Even some of the politicians were sending out tweets like, "Oh, another white violence." Then it came out that the guy was also, I think it was refugee status. Like, now, don't quote me on this. I can't remember if it was Syrian or Afghani. But the moment that came out, then suddenly it goes to radio silence. It's almost I mean, it's not. I was gonna say funny, but it's not. It's pretty tragic. But something I tell my wife: the way you can tell from a headline who's committing the attack, initially, right before they get the final report, and the information comes out a day or two later. But the when you have the initial reports, if it is a white man, and yes, white males do commit crimes, right? We know that, right? But if it's a white male, then it's immediately in there. White male, his name was John Smith. If you're watching the reports and it takes a day or two or three until any name or nationality or anything comes out, it's anything except a white male. White male is always immediate. If it's anything else, they just wait. The left media are just waiting, crossing their fingers, praying to every god out there, even though they're atheists, that please let it be a white male.
Let it be someone we can hate, Yeah. That actually reminds me of a funny video that I saw from this guy, Lael. He's a funny comedian. I spoke to him a few times, and he does such good explanation of these situations.
That we don't jump to conclusions about the man who was throwing Molotov cocktails at the Jews in Boulder today, okay? Just because his name is Muhammad does not mean that he's a Muslim or practices Islam or anything like that, okay? We don't know what his motivation was. It was probably completely unrelated. It's probably just a coincidence. And it's important that we do not resort to Islamophobia right now, okay? Let's be better than that.
He nailed it. He nailed it. That's how CNN sounds whenever they're reporting a crime that is committed by Muslims against non-Muslims with clear intention because it was a religious, reason behind it. I mean,
yeah. No, something I do on my day to day when I'm watching current events is an important thing is don't stay in an echo chamber. Right? Don't only listen to opinions you agree with. So, for example, if I'm driving in the car, I'll be switching between NPR and music. Or if I'm scrolling the web, I'll read both news sites. I'm not a Fox News consumer. Right? I'll watch some Fox, some MSNBC, some CNN. You want to get all the opinions, right? If you stay within only the group that agrees with you, you're never going to hear anything that challenges what you're thinking. For example, after this attack, when I was reading around the different responses, okay, so one of the places I went to was a forum that's dedicated to following Hassan Piker, if you're familiar with him. He's very much on the Palestinian side, anti-Israel. Okay, but he's a pretty big personality on the left side. And you should watch the comments that are there. Oh, do we know who the guy was? Do we know? Oh, to me, it's this is suspicious to me. This seems, I think it was the IOF, if you've heard that term. That's what the people call the Israeli Occupation Force.
Israeli Occupation Force, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, do we know? Well, was this true? Oh, this smells like a false flag to me. So it's not like, oh, this is horrible. Maybe you shouldn't attack innocent civilians. It's immediately like, oh, no, it's probably those Zionist Jews again finding a way to trick us. So now, apparently everything is the evil Jews. Man, same with the space lasers.
It was a Muslim man from a Muslim country that went and started trying to burn alive old people. Let's call it what it is, and then the fact that they try to cover for it is, in my eyes, takes their entire legitimacy as a credible source of media, because they're oozing of propaganda. And, you should defend yourself from these things. You should literally probably not listen to them. That's sad to say. Yeah. I mean, what kind of media sources can you listen to? That you need to really do a research. Every time something comes out, you need to really do a research to figure out what is happening. You need to listen to them, and then read between the line, read the comments. It's just the people have become the journalists rather than the journalists.
Yeah. No, and look, it's important to have to listen to all sides, and I'm not saying that in a politician kind of way, right? I mean, it is important, because if you don't understand what the other side thinks, how can you change their mind, first of all? So I'm not saying listen and agree. Definitely don't agree with everything you hear. You have to think about it. Okay, does this make sense? Does it not make sense? And then you can also approach people when you understand what their notions are.
No, but I think there's some guidelines. Like, for example, this picture. You can tell clearly by looking at this picture that these are bad guys.
Yeah.
Doing Heil Hitler, Nazi symbols, posting in front of a picture of a swastika, or a guy standing with Molotov bottles in his hand after he tried to burn alive Holocaust survivors and older people. So clearly not good guys. The media should not hide and try to cover for them. That is, I think, the main point here.
Yeah.
But I think, for a comical relief, did you hear about the new Greta Thunberg adventure with her team of Captain Planet friends from the left? Did you hear about that?
What has she done this time?
You're gonna love this one. So they took a sailboat and they're sailing to Gaza because they wanna remove the blockades over Gaza and save the people of Gaza.
This is gonna be a little bit messy, but I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Right now, we just left Augusta and we're heading towards Catania in Sicily. We're on the Madeleine. We have been trying to sail to Gaza with aid, with solidarity and love for so long, and we are one huge step closer to getting to Gaza now. One step closer to Gaza.
One step closer to Gaza. You know what's the funny, crazy part here? Are you ready for this? The crazy part is that the only one that will end up saving their lives from a certain terrible death in Gaza is going to be Israel, if they arrest them and stop them and deport them back. Because if they're allowed to reach Gaza with this group of people,
Yeah. Well, honestly, hey, let them let them go there. See how much they enjoy it. Same with the
queers for
Queers for
Palestine.
Palestine. Yeah. Yeah. The whole chickens for KFC thing. Let them go. Buy them tickets.
It's it's probably gonna be the best, most cruel PR stunt, of this war. If you actually let these people get what they want, then But actually, maybe on another topic, what broke my heart is to see that Sir Davos, I think that was his name, that onion ring, the onion
The onion ring. The
But
onion.
he's an onion ring now.
The onion knight.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken onion ring.
Uh,
So he is on that boat as well, sailing to Gaza. So obviously he's not as wise as he played his role in Game of Thrones. Big time.
Well, let's not get started on Hollywood. A bunch of
Yeah.
people that get paid to pretend to be other people. For some reason, we listen to their opinions. It's the most absurd situation I've seen when it comes to the celebrity culture. Like, oh, okay, you want to hide in the bushes outside Taylor Swift's mansion so you can get a picture of her. Okay, yeah, fine. Do you want to be crazy? You do you. But the whole thing, like, oh, let's listen to their opinions. They're really good at pretending to be other people. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good one. I think that was a drop the mic moment here with that. So, guys, thank you so much for listening, staying tuned. If you want to help support this channel, do the like, share, subscribe, the whole shebang. You can also go and check the Patreon to find direct, practical ways to support the work that we're doing. But until then, don't do anything stupid. And in general, don't sail a sailing boats into Gaza with a bunch of diapers, hoping to go and save the people of Gaza. Go and try to stop Hamas from stealing their food. That will help save the people of Gaza, because there's plenty of food entering Gaza. Obviously, you don't need Greta Thunberg to come with a bunch of Nutella to go and save them. There's enough food that is going there. It's just being stolen by Hamas, and then they hide themselves under the ground. So that is something to sail for. Sir Davos, the onion ring. And until then, stay safe. See you next time.